What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Detroit Pistons. And of course, you know that this is my Bulls report. Now, the Bulls were coming off a win in their last outing. Very exciting to the Milwaukee Bucks. And they were facing off against a Detroit team who were shorthanded because of, the suspension to Killian Hayes and Hamou Diallo, I believe. That's how you say his name. Excuse me if I got it wrong. Now, like I said, the Bulls had their usual lineup. Alex Caruso was available. Javonte Green was available, but still no Derrick Jones Jr. And of course, no Lonzo Ball. Now, in tonight's game, I was looking at this. I'm like, okay, the Pistons are shorthanded, but I know how they play. They have savvy veterans like Bogdanovich, Alec Burke, guys that can get it done. And they also still have Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Duran. They still have a mix of, vets to go with their young growing core. So to start the game off, you did see Duran get the first basket of the game, and then Jaden Ivey showed his speed off versus Ayo in the open floor. So the Pistons opened up with the first 7 points of the game. I was not really worried at that moment, but you did see the slow start by Chicago, which had me a little on edge. I'm like, okay, if this is going to end up like the Houston game, let's get it over early. That's basically how I was feeling. You did see Zach LaVine get the first bucket for Chicago. So Ayo came back and showed his quickness, on the offensive end versus Jaden Ivey. So the Bulls, they were battling early, but the Pistons were up 12-5 at the early part of the game. You seen Ayo again looking to be aggressive early. He had a play in the first half of the game where he was dribbling full speed and he went around his back to the layup. It was amazing. It was beautiful. You seen Zach LaVine looking for his shot really early, and that was one thing. I don't think the Pistons had a defensive player, even if they were fully healthy, right? I don't think Killian Hayes or Diallo. I don't think the Pistons had anybody to match what Zach LaVine was doing in tonight's game. You seen team defense by Chicago, but again, guys like Bogdanovich was getting his shots early. You seen Burke come off the bench, and he was filling up and making baskets early. You seen to close out the first quarter, you seen an alley-oop from Kobe White to Zach LaVine. The Bulls were exciting. They were playing hard. They were involved early with team and man movement early, and I enjoyed that. You seen after the first quarter, the Bulls were up 33-25. So in the second, the Bulls do give up a 4-point play to Alec Burke. Now, this was where Billy decided to go to the bench, and you seen Drummond come in. But again, the Pistons' threes were a problem. But what I did like that countered that was DeMar DeRozan started looking for his shots. They started to fall in the second. Zach LaVine, on the other hand, had a huge first half. It was at one point where it didn't look like he was missing from the field. Everything in the paint he was making, he was rarely missing on outside shots. I believe he only missed a few baskets in the first half. But man, I believe Zach LaVine had 20 plus. He had 20 plus in the first half. But the Pistons were making shots. The Bulls were dominant in the paint, which was a surprise, because I'm like, okay, thinking about Vucevic, but I'm also thinking about Duran and Stewart. And I'm like, okay, how are the Bulls going to navigate, rotations with if Vucevic getting foul trouble, how are they going to navigate the offense with Drummond? But you saw the Bulls getting, in the paint points. Now, at the half, the Bulls did lead by 2. Ayo, with a great rebound put back in the third. You seen Zach LaVine still having his way, and the Bulls' three-point shooting was coming alive in the third. But the Pistons were matching the Bulls' three-point shots on the other end. You seen Alex Caruso give good minutes. He had one big three, I believe, at one point, and he put the Bulls up 85 to 82. You seen some good minutes from Drummond, good minutes from Dragic, Green. But Alec Burke was giving the Bulls problem this entire game. Now the Bulls did lead 95-92 after 3. You seen a 9-point lead by Chicago in the 4th, and Zach LaVine just kept the lead going strong. I mean, if the Pistons got close, you seen Zach LaVine make a big shot. But again, the game did get tied at one point at 110 apiece. And the Bulls did basically go on a 10-1 run in the 4th. And ultimately, they did win tonight's game 132-118. That's 5 of the last 6 for Chicago. And honestly, man, I'm excited about tonight's win because, yes, I know it was only the Detroit Pistons to some people. Yes, we know that they weren't fully whole, right? But anybody can give you a run for your money no matter what night it is. No matter what night it is, anybody can give you a run for your money. And the Pistons did not back down from the Bulls at all. You know, whether it was Ivy, whether it was Bogdanovich, whether it was Burke, whether it was Sadiq Bey, you've seen just a team that stayed in the game. But again, Billy Donovan did what I feel like good coaches do, and they just take the matchups and they maximize on them. You seen Isaiah Stewart with 16 points and Bogdanovich with 20, Sadiq Bey with 10 off the bench. Jaden Ivey did have 22. Alec Burke came in off the bench with 19, and you see Magruder with 11. Now on the Chicago Bulls side of things, you seen Patrick Williams with 8 points. He was kind of hit and miss, come and go tonight, but he did score 8 points tonight. You seen DeRozan with 22, 6 and 5. Couple calls didn't go DeRozan's way. He could have went either way, but he did have 22. You seen Vucevic with 19 and 9. You seen Zach LaVine pour in a big 43-point performance. And let me say one thing about Zach LaVine performance tonight. When a player of his caliber was as engaged as he was tonight, he can do this on a regular basis. Defense, he was stifling on defense. His shot was falling inside, outside. He was scoring at all 4 levels tonight. In the paint, free throw, mid range, and his outside shot was falling. So when a player like Zach LaVine is playing this way, it's hard to beat the Bulls, honestly. You did see Ayo Dosunmu with 11 points, 6 rebounds. Alex Caruso, who had some great defensive rotations and steals, did hit 2 threes, had 8 points for the game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. You seen Drummond come off the bench with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Also, Dragic came in off the bench with 4 points, 2 rebounds, an assist. Kobe White didn't play too much tonight. He had 14 minutes, but did add in 5 points, a 3, and 1 assist. And ultimately, like I said, man, the Bulls played as well as you could for 48 minutes and found a way to pull this win together. 38 team rebounds, 21 assists. They did shoot 57% for the game and 44% from 3. This is a back-to-back matchup because the Chicago Bulls will be ending their year at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who we all know isn't a pushover. They have guys like Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen coming to the building, Evan Mobley, so Karis LeVert, guys like that. So it's going to be a test for Chicago. Tonight is definitely a good win to hang your hat on, to build upon your last previous win and just continue to do that. A lot of people are saying what the Bulls should be, what they were last year. Well, right now, this year, they're a team that's, I feel like are figuring it out. They're figuring it out. They're getting wins when they need to get wins. They are 16 and 19, but they're getting wins when they need to get wins. Just pile them up. I feel like they just need to pile them up, stack them up, and just put them together and play team basketball. The more and more they do that, they find their identity. They know what they want to do. They know how they want to play together. You know, the combination of Vucevic, Levine, and DeRozan has to play to this caliber or better nightly to give the Bulls their best opportunity to actually win basketball games. And if you ask me, you know, right now, the Bulls, yes, they are on the outside looking in, but if you actually look at it with a different lens and a different scope, they are right there. You know, they're not in the upper echelon of the East per se, but they have beaten those upper echelon teams. So if you can piece together and pull together, you know, some wins here and there, the Bulls, I feel like they'll be right there vying for a position come playoff time, late April, you know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Bulls fans, Pistons fans, or if you're just an NBA fan and you tuning into the channel, let me know in the comments down below your comments. As always, it's greatly appreciated to hear from you guys. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.